Namaste. So here we are at the Annamaya Kosha. We have gone through the preparatory practices, the internalization, the sankalpa, and now it's time for the rotation of consciousness. So let's begin with a little practice. Sit up straight in your chair. Get comfortable. Close the eyes and take a slow, deep breath in. And as you exhale, relax the body. Again, deep breath in, exhale, and relax. One more time, deep breath in. This time, hold it at the top. And slow exhale to relax. Now just observe the breath without any control. And we'll begin a practice of rotation of consciousness through the different centers of the body. Your awareness will move from part to part, following along at the same speed as my voice. Let your awareness fill the body part I name and simultaneously feel that part. Mentally repeat it and let it rest in its own space. There's no physical movement, only the movement of your awareness. Bring your awareness to settle in the right hand. Right hand thumb. Index finger, middle finger, ring finger, small finger, palm of the hand, back of the hand, wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, right side of the rib cage, hip, upper leg, kneecap, lower leg, ankle, top of the right foot, sole of the right foot, right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, all 5 toes together. Move your awareness to the left side. Left hand thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, small finger, palm of the hand, back of the hand, wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, left side of the rib cage, hip, upper leg, kneecap, lower leg, ankle, top of the left foot, sole of the left foot, left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe. All 5 toes together. Bring your awareness to the soles of the feet. You will move your consciousness from right to left, starting from the soles of your feet up to the crown of your head. Place attention on the backside of your body. Right sole, left sole, both soles together. Right ankle, left ankle, right calf, left calf, back of the right knee, back of the left knee, back of the right thigh, back of the left thigh, right buttock, left buttock, low back, upper back, whole spine, right shoulder blade, left shoulder blade, both shoulder blades together, back of the neck, back of the head, crown of the head, forehead, right eyebrow, left eyebrow, center of the eyebrows, right eyelid, left eyelid, right eyeball, left eyeball, right cheek, left cheek, right ear, left ear, right nostril, left nostril, nose, tip of the nose, upper lip, lower lip, both lips together, chin, whole face, throat, right side of the chest, left side of the chest, whole chest, belly, right thigh, left thigh, right kneecap, left kneecap, right shin, left shin, right foot, left foot. Bring awareness to the body parts, whole right arm, whole left arm, both arms together, whole right leg, whole left leg, both legs together, right side of the body, left side of the body, front of the body, back of the body, whole head, whole body, whole body, whole body together. Maintain awareness and hold awareness of the whole body. Feel all points of contact with the earth and notice the breath. When you're ready, gently blink open the eyes. Let's open with the sound of Om. Bring hands to heart center. Deep breath in. Namaste. So now that you have a little taste for the rotation of consciousness, the Annamaya Kosha, let's break it down. So remember, this is a Nyasa yoga or ritual, okay? And this is a tantric practice in which the tantrikas would prepare their body either by physically touching the body parts or bringing awareness and then inserting specific seed sounds or mantras so that they would recite that sound of that body part to awaken the inner prana. And as such, they would be charging the body with higher vibrational sound and stirring or sort of activating the prana in that location to consecrate the body for the divine. And in some lineages, worshiping deities, they would put mantras in to elevate the body consciousness into the deity that they were worshiping. So as we see it today in the Yoga Nidra that we practice, we are penetrating the awareness within each body part, as well as consciously activating the prana in that place and activating the brain centers associated, as we'll see in a later slide. Here are a couple of different techniques used. So the Bihar School of Yoga uses this system, and this is where Swami Satyananda Saraswati, this is his school, the Bihar School of Yoga, and this is the circuit that he uses. So it always starts on the right hand thumb, going through each finger, up the arm, down the side of the body, down the right leg to each of the toes. Then you switch over to the left hand thumb, each of the fingers, up the arm, down the left side of the body, all the way down to the toes. And then from there, you work your way up the back side of the body from each of the body parts that are touching the floor, always going from the right to the left. And then once you've come up the back side of the body, usually we'll go up and around the head, over the face, down the front side of the body, and then you may go into major body parts like the right arm, right leg, left leg. And so after you've broken down very small parts of the body, then you piece the body back together into a state of wholeness, ending with the whole body. So you're consciously connecting here in with the physical body layer. And so this is how the Bihar School of Yoga teaches. This is how we teach in this course. But let's just take a look at another one, the Himalayan lineage, which is working more with Pranamaya Kosha and the Marma points or the meridian junction points. So the 61 point practice has an energetic effect and is working more with the energy body. And so you can take a look back at this slide. You can pause it and write these down. But these are the 61 points that are touched on in the Himalayan lineage. So what's happening then in the brain when we're doing this rotation of consciousness? So here is that homunculus that we looked at before, and this is the sensory cortex of the brain, that red and blue line that you see across the two hemispheres of the brain. And so neuroscientists mapped this. If you were to take a cross section of this part of the brain and assign body parts to each location, so each body part has a designated location within the brain scape. Okay, so this is a map of the body in the cortex of the brain. So very sensitive body parts take up more real estate in the brain. So things like the fingertips, the face, the feet, the genitals, reproductive organs, the fine motor and facial muscles. And you can see that represented in the image there where the hands are larger, the tongue is sort of large. And so they've done it to scale, basically, based on the sensitivity. And so by bringing attention to each of these locations, we're stimulating that area in the brain. And so we're bringing consciousness to this somatosensory cortex in both the right and left hemispheres of the brain. And we go back and forth from right to left, which causes a deep relaxation in the brain and a balancing of the two hemispheres. Okay, it also deepens, of course, the body relaxation and quiets the brain waves. Gives us sort of a heightened awareness and concentration, taking us away from those sensory entanglements. Okay. Usually when we're in conscious waking state, we're aware of a body part because of some stimulation, but it will bring us into a story. And so here in Yoga Nidra, in the rotation of consciousness, we are connecting with each body part without the story and going through this, traveling through this landscape of the brain. So it's a meditation technique for conscious placement of awareness. And we're putting attention somewhere and it's staying there. So it's helping us to get into a state of dharana where there's more concentration and holding concentration and moving the point of focus at your own will. Okay. So some teachers will cue this more rapidly because it doesn't give time for the mind to wander. It helps to develop one-pointedness. But when the teacher cues a little bit more slowly, it opens a window for us to get into the feeling tone, the sensation and the activation of prana. So when you're listening to a Yoga Nidra, remembering that where your awareness goes, energy flows. And so you can, while you're listening, bring more conscious awareness if the teacher is going a little bit more slowly, or even do that traditional technique of putting the mantra in or feeling the pranic vibration within that body part. The other reason we always start with the right hand is because it trains the students to automatically deepen their practice, because they remember the deepening from the previous practice, and it's easier for them to just automatically drop in. So what are the implications for this practice? Many psychologists actually use the rotation of consciousness to help integrate experience. So trauma brings parts of our brain sort of offline, and by rotating awareness through the brainscape, it's creating this intelligent connection within the neurowiring in the brain and bringing us into a whole brain state. So we're accessing the brain by accessing the body and the neuronal connections between the body and the brain. We can look at the implication of physical healing. So someone with chronic pain, when they're bringing consciousness into these areas, it's bringing this homeostasis effect. Okay. In children, you can use, you can be very creative here and use something like imagine, a butterfly landing on each body part that I name, or you can have them imagine, that body part lighting up with a certain color. Really get their creative mind working, because remember that children are in that brain state where the imaginary world is just as real as the real world. And so you can play into that by offering these. So the rotation of consciousness is an integral part of the Yoga Nidra practice, but it can also be taken out and used as its own practice, for example, in psychology and healing, and with children to help calm them and focus them. Okay. The somatosensory cortex part of the brain helps to really deepen and relax, because we're putting our focus somewhere and we're training our attention, we're training our focus. So deeper states then of meditation can be accessed by this practice. And so in this very relaxed state, we can go in and connect consciously. During the day, we're not going to those parts. So if we have a sensation in a certain area, we're going into a story. And then we're not giving attention to the body just as it is, right? And so in this relaxed state, it allows us to meet the consciousness of the body with our full attention. And it gives the left brain a really strong anchor in this creative process. Okay. Remember, we always end with wholeness, with whole body awareness. So it's very experiential knowledge rather than intellectual knowledge of wholeness within the body. Things to remember when you're practicing the rotation of consciousness is to keep the awareness moving at the speed of the instruction. So don't get hung up or caught up in some story, but continue bouncing your awareness from body part to body part just as rapidly as the teacher is speaking. You might repeat the body part in your mind to stay focused and stay aware. You may also, as an advanced practice, as I mentioned, insert a mantra or feel the vibration within each one of those body parts. And also remember that it is very important to stay still. And you might sense the body part as if it's being physically touched. Okay. How to practice. So you will place the awareness. You will do a mental recitation. So when the teacher says right hand, thumb, you'll say in your mind, right hand, thumb. And that helps us to stay anchored in the place. And again, you may feel the activation of energy. So this is a more advanced practice to connect and feel the stirring or the activation of energy in that particular place. And this is going back to the original roots of Nyasa Yoga. You can place a mantra there like Om, feel the Om vibration spread throughout consciousness within that body part. Now, what about when we're teaching, guiding the rotation of consciousness? So a couple of things to think about. So the speed at which you cue. So if you're going to cue a beginner, it's advisable to go a little bit faster. When you go faster, it keeps the consciousness moving very quickly from one point to the next, which keeps the mind focused and free of distraction. If you want to cue a little bit more slowly, then it allows for a deeper connection and communication within the cells. Okay. Regarding the number of rounds. So you may do this once, and that's a perfectly good Yoga Nidra. Sometimes you might cue the circuit 2 or 3 times, which can result in a deeper connection to the body and a stronger discipline of mind. So what's the circuit that will follow? Just to recap what we mentioned in the Bihar School rotation of consciousness is we begin on the right hand thumb, go through each finger, go up the arm and down the right side body and down the right leg. Then we switch over to the left and do the same thing from there. Then from the feet, we work our way up the back side of the body, alternating from right side to left side, then up behind the head, over the face, and then we cue the front side of the body. You can get very detailed here. You can cue different parts of the tongue and very specific parts of the face. You can get into individual organs. So if you're doing a healing Yoga Nidra, you may spend extra time with specific organs and healing. You might talk about you might bring a rotation of consciousness into the spine, the different parts of the spine, individual vertebra, as well as the brain. So you can take them into different parts of the brain. You can get as detailed as you like here. Then from there, you go to major parts. So you might say the whole right leg, the whole left leg, the whole right arm, the whole right side of the body, the whole left side of the body. You see the whole front side of the body and the whole back side of the body. And you're slowly piecing it back together so you finish with whole body awareness. And you'll repeat this a couple of times and let them rest in that whole body awareness for a little while. Let's close here, and in the next video we'll talk about Annamaya Kosha. Sit up straight, hands to heart, deep breath in for Om. Namaste.